did you guys, the cast of Last House, did you already know some of these guys before the film, or did you meet with?
No, I knew Marty. Marty was the only person I met. I mean, I knew because he was living with my sister at the time.
Right.
I don't really feel like that's the best film I ever made. I mean, that's my opinion. I think Hitch-Hike is a much better film.
Oh, I agree. It's just, it was definitive for me because of, the time of my life when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pushed me into Hitch-Hike, and I love House on the Edge of the Park as well. I think that.
Well, so you've seen the trilogy, so you really know more about me than most people do.
Oh, absolutely. I have all three of them on VHS.
So you know the line that I took on trying to. I mean, you got to remember something. I have a master's degree in anthropology, so I was right up my alley to experiment on sociopathology and see how far I could take it in as many films as people wanted to cast me in, and they did. So I kept taking chances. It was a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
Well, I think
that may be why you're so good at playing that person, is the study of humans.
Well, you got to bring a sense of humanity to it. The guy that influenced me most as an actor in my career, other than the fact that John was, a great actor and a great director, and we hung out together. We used to go to the Gaiety Delicatessen and have corned beef sandwiches, and I had pastrami, he had corned beef. And just sit around and talk. And he was more interested in my music than he was in my acting, but I would pick his brains about acting all the time. And then we met on Avalanche Express when he was doing Brass Monkey in Munich, and I was living there, and that's a whole other story. But the guy that influenced me the most as an actor was John Garfield. John Garfield,
yes.
I don't know if you know of him, but he was a New York actor in the 40s and 50s, and he did come out to Hollywood, but he brought that realness to the screen.
He was the first anti-hero. I mean, he was great, by the way.
Well, I guess that's what I am, in a way.
Well, this is true, and I say, and I think this is something Roger was touching upon. The best villains. When you play a villain, you never play the bad guy like he knows he's the bad guy, because in the mind of the bad guy, he's not.
No. Well, why would he be?
That's my goal with any screenplay I write. I write a lot of villainous characters. I think the ultimate achievement would be to have a bad guy that you don't want, that you kind of identify with. And, I'm kind of sad when Krug dies. It's like, it's but it's like, man, I never got to have a beer with Krug.
I'm fucking glad he died so I can move on to my next film. If you don't mind me asking, on the air, but maybe this will help people out there too. You say that, and I think we all agree that the independent film industry is the only way to go because we can't raise any money anyplace else, and especially where you are in Los Angeles, it's impossible to raise any money, period, and that's why you go out of state. What are your budgets per se, Roger? What kind of money are we talking about when you're making a film? I mean, I can tell you what my films cost.
So, Roger, are you there?
Did we lose him?
He's dropped off the board. He'll dial back in. In fact, his line went kaput, so he should be calling us back because he was at, here he is. I'm going to let him back on. You can
rephrase that?
Well, no, ask him again. Just reissue the question, same question. He'll answer you. Roger and I are actually co-producing on 3 films here in Texas, by the way, to kind of like bring you up to speed, David. So, all right, Roger, you're back on with us, dude.
Sorry about that, guys. It's this LA signal. I dropped my
Well, listen, we get it up here, too. That's why I'm on my house phone. No, I just wondered, I mean, you mentioned the fact that you have to go out of state because you can't shoot in LA because the independent film industry is in such, chaos and turmoil there, and you can't raise any money. And my question to you is, what actually are your budgets? I would like to know, and I think the audience out there would like to know what the cost of you shooting a film is.
Hey, Roger, I was telling him that you and I are co-producing, so, we can answer the question within reason right here.
Well, I'll tell you one-on-one, David, just because, it's kind of bad. Here's the thing I found about my movie, and what if you would be willing to watch it, I would be honored. First of all, so I'll do a cartwheel. But I can't. My distributor said, "Don't you dare tell anybody what you made that film for," because if the
well, you're right. You're right, but well, then you know what? Let me rephrase that. What can you make, given given the situation? You've got 21 days, 24 days to shoot. What do you think a reasonable cost to make a film like that would be? I mean, I can tell you. I know that I can go out and make a film for $250,000 easily if I write it correctly. And that's really what I was trying to get at, not what your budgets were necessarily, but what you can actually shoot a film for nowadays. If I take the red camera and go out and shoot a film, I defy anybody because I know how to fucking edit on the goddamn camera. I defy anybody to tell me that I didn't shoot in 35 millimeter after I effected.
Absolutely. I mean, you can do so much with digital and fool so many people. I watched the Nicolas Cage film knowing in the theater and went home, and I had no idea it was shot on the red. But I watched Soderbergh's latest film with your co-star, Sasha Grey, The Girlfriend Experience.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's shot on VHS. So, and Soderbergh's a great DP, so he must have meant to do that. But you
Of course he did. No, he did. No, I mean, come on. Every single frame, he knows what he's doing.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think to kind of answer your question, David, with regards to budgets, because Roger and I have been, collaborating now for what, Roger? Probably since the last, I guess over the last, 8-9 months even, right?
Yeah, we're almost a year now, yeah.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say I got to run in about the next couple of minutes, but what I want you to do, Parrish, is pass on my cell phone to Roger. That way, you can get them if you want.
Will do. But I'm going to answer your question really quickly, and then we'll wrap it up. In Texas, for example, all right, that $250,000 budget, that you would have for a film in California, in Texas, because, locations can be negotiated free of charge, because, again, there's no filming permits, and as well, because we're a filmmaker-friendly state to the point at which those of us who make films here have the tremendous support from a lot of people, from different facets, from catering to you name it. Suddenly, that same film for $250,000 can be made in Texas for $100,000.
Wow.
Okay, and that's the advantages of, if you will, shooting film here in Texas. That's how we do it. If you go out and check out The Quick and the Undead, it's been out now since 2006. Anchor Bay released it. So, this thing premiered at Mann's Chinese Theater, used to be Grauman's. It was shot in part in L.A. and the majority here in Texas, and it was shot for $100,000. But if you happen to see the film, a lot of people watch it, and number one, they think it had $1 million budget. Okay, fairly massive production and scale, and as well, production values. So again,
I've been in those films. I mean, and usually usually you work out a back end deal if people are pulling you in because they want to use your name value or whatever, also because they want to use you as an actor. But that is the way the industry is going. At this point, I think most people in my position that have a little bit of name value attach themselves as producers.
Right.
So they take a lot less than their normal salary would be, but they got to pay their bills and put a little money in the bank, and then and the rest is risk. And I think we all need to be able to understand that really is the wave of the future. That if you don't take a risk on yourself, then you're not really playing the game very fairly.
Exactly, and again, as actors, we have that wonderful opportunity to come on as producer and make ourselves available to a film, and as well, for less money, and then see that again, a risk it may be. Chances are, if you believe in the project